Hey everybody, it's the Nerding Cooking Lady, and tonight we are going to be making red velvet cheesecake from scratch. And I've never made cheesecake with the water bath before, so you're going to be hoping and praying that it doesn't do anything horrible to me. And if it does, I'll still post a video because it's a learning experience. But you know the drill. Let's get going. And for our video tonight, we are going to have a wide array of ingredients. Sour cream, buttermilk, butter, vanilla, red food coloring, cream cheese frosting already made, but we're going to make something else out of it. I got a shortbread crust pre-made, but I'm going to be crumbling that to fit into the pan and putting butter with it, so it'll be like I'm still making it, hopefully. Got some vinegar over here, 4 eggs, Hershey's powdered chocolate, cannot think of the word right now. Hershey's cocoa. Wow. Just wow, Heather. Confectionery sugar, Philadelphia cream cheese, and last but not least, heavy whipping cream. So let's go. First of all, this needs to go down to 325. Second, we're going to want to take the 4 tablespoons of butter and melt them into this cup so we can make the bottom crust. Now, it's kind of cool that I just pretty much bought a crust and then recrusted it. Yeah, that's a thing. But I took my shortbread crust and I have crushed it all up back to consistency of crumbs. We've got our melted butter. We're going to be making the bottom half of the cheesecake crust out of this. Alright, we have mixed our butter with our shortbread, and it's made a kind of sticky, almost gooey, but pliable crust out of it that we're going to be pressing into the bottom of our spring pan. And we have very thinly pressed that into the bottom of our pan for the thin layer of crust for our cheesecake. Alright, we're going to have to bake our crust for 10 minutes, but I'm holding off on doing that until we're almost done with the batter for this. We have our 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder in here, and we are now going to be whisking in our cream cheese, which is a hell of a lot of cream cheese. The only downside to this is I don't have an electric blender, so I'm going to be using the power of Heather to blend this together. So, what I'm pretty much going to have is one big beefy arm, and the other one's going to be all skinny and stupid looking. Yeah, let's stick with that. Before I put the eggs in, I'm going to be putting this in the oven for about 10 minutes so it can turn into a crust. Next, I'm going to be adding 1 egg at a time and thoroughly whipping it together. I'm not going to show you all 4, but we'll at least add in the first one together. There we go. Then we'll be dividing that up between our mixture in here and folding it in. Alright, we have folded all the eggs in. It is about as smooth as I'm going to get it. And we need to add in our sugar, vinegar, red food coloring, sour cream, buttermilk, and vanilla extract. And this will be a batter. So let's get going. I need to make a mental note to get myself a bigger pan, because the only pan I could see to give this a water bath in was this one. And I really hope it's enough room to water bath. And I bet you there's a bunch of cooks out there going, no, it's not, Heather, you dangus. Why did you even do that? Well, you know what? You live and you learn. Anyway, my crust is done cooking. It's so much better than when it went in. I put aluminum foil all around here. And I am going to make sure that it doesn't get too ruined. So, we're going to do our best. Alright, to our cheesecake batter, we are going to be adding 1 cup of sugar, our 4th cup of buttermilk, our sour cream that I'm going to need to dig out because this is exactly 1 cup. I did all the math. And last but not least, because I need both hands to measure, we have our 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and 2 ounces of red food coloring. That's why it looks like someone died in it. We'll be whisking all that together. And there we go. Our batter is all ready to pour into our pan. Now we have put our batter in here. You want to make sure all the bubbles are out of it, so you want to pick up both sides and slam it down. And obviously I don't mean so it covers the ceiling, just enough to bring the bubbles to the surface and let them pop. Now we're going to be adding in the water. We're going to be moving our temperature down to 300. Oops. Letting that actually cool off a little before I put it in. Alright, next we're going to be putting in our water bath. The only thing that's concerning me is I have tight quarters in this pan. So we're going to try. Now you don't want it to go above the tin foil, so I'm really being careful. And now I've got 2 cups of water. Yeah, I know I got it on the counter. Oh no. It's the sinking of the Titanic all over again. Water right now is probably up to here, so we are going to finish filling that about halfway up the pan and get it in the oven. A little bit more. Now you don't want it to go above this foil, and in a couple places it's kind of scary amount of low, because if you do, it'll run into your crust in the bottom, and then you'll get soggy cheesecake, and that's no bueno. Nobody wants that. And I guess I'm going to have to check all the sides, because I don't think it's filling up completely around it, but yeah. Counter, do you need washed? Maybe, probably. Alright, that was 2 cups, and I'm going to be double checking that, and we're going to be putting it in the oven shortly. Right, we are going to be putting the cheesecake into the oven, where it will be cooking for 1 hour and 45 minutes of me being sad that I can't eat it. Oh, more so lyrical, but yeah. Alright, for the topping that we're going to need to refrigerate for a little bit, we have our 3/4 cup of heavy cream. We have 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and 1/2 cup of the Betty Crocker cream cheese icing. And we're going to be whipping that all up together. And that all mixed together makes a slightly runnier but cream cheese topping that will be sitting in the refrigerator until it's cold, and we can put it into a piping bag and put on top of our cheesecake. Now that our cheesecake is done cooking, we are going to let it cool off for 30 minutes and naturally in the oven. Alright, we let it sit in the oven while it cooled down for 30, and it has a nice firm top to it. Only looks like the only little thing I forgot was a bubble over here, but you know what? That's not that bad. Alright, I didn't show the part of us taking it out of the pan, or out of the water, or spilling the water on the stove, or any of that fun stuff we did. But it's worked pretty well. Now, there was a little bit of butter oilage going on down here that's worrying me. But we're going to let it cool off a little, and then we're going to put it in the fridge for tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to ice it, put it in the fridge again, and show you the end result. Right, our cheesecake has been in the fridge overnight, and it's cool, and it's just delicious feeling. I know that sounded dumb, but you'd have to understand how a cheesecake feels when it's done. It's kind of really hard and cold and smooth. It's like you know you succeeded, even though you haven't tasted it yet. So we're going to use our frosting that's been in the cooler all night and our piping bag. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, if that doesn't work, I'll just spread some on the top and call it a day, because I don't have to be fancy to eat it. Alright, plan B. The frosting got a little too runny, and I honestly think I was probably supposed to freeze it longer. So I'm just going to be spreading it around the top and letting it drip down the sides and calling it a day. In the future, I want to try to freeze it a little better and make the peaks and the fun little designs I was supposed to do on it. But for now, this works too. And now for the world's biggest critic on my cheesecake. Dun, dun, dun. There's a voluntary bite too, ladies and gentlemen, that has to mean it's okay. Come on, I need some words. Not jiggling, I need some words. That's nice. I want to try mine. Stop it. Yeah. Put it in my mouth. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Ironically, I can taste the sour cream in it, though. I thought that wouldn't be so bad. Okay, I didn't mean it like that. It still tastes good. But are you tasting what I'm tasting, or? No, she's just over here in orgasm land, you know. So, there you have it. I will go get a video of how it looks with the 2 pieces missing. And I'll stop taping Lyrical because she's having a moment. Alright, and there you have it. Red velvet cheesecake. And I found it on the internet, so I'll have to give you all the instructions. I'd like to take my moment and mention the Gamers and Geese Can Cook playlist, where you will find other fantabulous cooks like myself, like Folk Girl, Quick Smoke, Lyrical, who likes burning down houses, and so many others. So head on over there. If you want to be on the Gamers and Geeks Can Cook playlist, well, that's easy too. Just make a cooking video, mention the playlist in your video, and you are immortalized in a playlist of goodies. Just like me. Alright, this has been Successful Cheesecake Recipe. And I, the Nerdy Cooking Lady, will see you next time.